Cafe. My name is Melinda Doveston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our monthly I Ching forecast for the month of June 2026. We are barreling through this year. As always, before we get stuck into the monthly overview, we look back, we reflect on the month of May. It was filled with action, lots of changing lines from week to week. We had some interesting patterns of every week the same changing lines come up. And we had that wonderful hexagram 40 deliverance, bringing us to a place of relief after a long, long challenge, getting us to a place of safety, getting through the dark night, right? The rough storm at sea. And we land up prostrate on the beach, survived, alive, ready to move forward. And we had hexagram 2, the receptive, opening, supporting, nurturing, holding the space, being the mother, holding the space for the seeds to grow. A really interesting energy of really getting through something, getting to the other side of a difficulty, achieving a place of achievement, even if we're bumped and bruised, that we got there and we made it. So for you, what was your achievement, your deliverance in May 2026? What was the thing that you've been going through, perhaps for a long time or a period of time, perhaps even years, that in May 2026 there was a breakthrough, there was a relief, which is what this hexagram is really all about, a relief from some kind of suffering. So if anything came up for you, if you were open and holding the seeds and holding the space for others and nurturing the growth around you, well done. Leave a comment if there's something that specifically came up for you, an insight from May 2026. Right, so different energy, we move forward, new month. Let's get into June. Our first hexagram for this month is an old recent favorite. Is hexagram 24, the return. So we had that a couple of months back, and we've had this one come up regularly in our weeklies. Return, right, structurally, a whole lot of female yin lines, the male yang line coming in the bottom, bringing in the new power energy, the new creative dynamic in the sea of dark lines, the sea of winter. So the energy of this hexagram is a turning point, okay? A turning point where something new comes in, the new light comes in around the bottom and starts building back up and bringing the light-giving properties, all right, of the creative power of that yang line to the whole hexagram, bringing the light back after a period of darkness. The bear starting to shift in the cave, starting to get out of its hibernation, starting to move forward, and things starting to move in the right direction. Not full gusto speed, but a turning point towards a better time. This hexagram also can refer to turning back to something, returning back to something important, getting back to ourselves, getting back to the path, getting back to an old flame, an old employer. There's a process here of coming back to something. Even if that's coming back to a better time, to a better energy, a return back. So you might be turning back to something of the past, perhaps an old forgotten thing you didn't know you needed, but whatever it is that you're turning back to or turning away from or turning to, it brings new, good, positive, creative energy back into your world. Wonderful. Now, one changing line in the third position. This is usually a tricky line position because line 3 is just before we cross the chasm from the bottom trigram to the top trigram, a trickiness. All right, and with this hexagram, each of the changing lines gives us a clue as to what we really need to focus on, what we really are returning from or to. Okay, now, line 3, the return, the turning back, the turning point we're being asked to make is ourselves, right? We need to turn back to our higher self on some aspect. What does that mean? It means that somehow, something in what we're doing, and perhaps it might be an area where you are having some difficulty or you're struggling, we need to let go of the lower and embrace the higher in ourselves. This is a very strong personal development line. This is not about other people, about fate, about any of those things. This is about taking responsibility of turning back to the best parts of ourselves. And that seems to be something that we're needing to really develop this month, really need to focus on. There's some part of ourselves where we've gone off the path. We've gone a little bit into the dark side, okay, into the negative or into old patterns or stuck thinking, old belief systems that we no longer need, that are no longer fruitful. We need to come back to the highest part of ourselves. And so every time you face a difficulty in this month, think about, how is this situation, this difficulty, that I am still stuck in that old part in the lower? What do I need to do now to get back to the best part of my character, my personality, my soul, my conditioning, whatever it is? Get back to the best part of myself. And then you work from that part. Part of this line is recognizing that there's kind of ghosts of the past that are coming back to bring us some lessons, some development. And perhaps if there's things we've done in the past, or there's experiences we had in the past that were difficult and challenging, they come back up for us to re-look at them. And what we need to do is we need to take the lesson. Okay, we don't need to dwell in that negative energy. This is definitely not about going into a loop of what didn't happen, where was I, why didn't I, regret, none of that. We have to recognize the pattern. We have to see what were we doing that was not the best that we could do. And then we step into the best and we move forward with energy. That's what this line is asking us to do. So if you feel old stuff come back up, coming back up to reignite old wounds, it's not about staying in the wounds. It's about taking the lesson of those wounds and just getting on with it in the best part of yourself that you can bring to that moment. Okay, so use that. Is this the best I can do? Is this the best part of me that I can bring to this moment? And wherever you're feeling stuck or you're feeling in a challenging position, shift your thinking and think, is this the best part of myself I'm bringing to this moment? And then lean into the best part of yourself. You don't have to perfect it, okay? You just need to persevere and step into the best part of yourself. One changing line, because we have one changing line or monthlies, I like giving you a little bit of a time frame. It's likely that this changing line is going to be very strong for you leading up until the middle of the month, 15th of June. So just watch that as we go through the months. You might find that by the middle of the month, this issue has presented itself, and then we start moving fully into the second hexagram as we transform from one to the other. That brings us to a second hexagram. This is hexagram 36, darkening of the light. Okay, so here we have the returning point, but here we land up with darkening of the light. What is going on here? I think with this hexagram, you can see the structure. There's earth on the top trigram, and you have light in the bottom trigram. The light has sunk into the earth. Okay, this hexagram speaks to going through a period of difficulty and challenge. Okay, the vibe, the energy, the eventing happening around is challenging, difficult, or negative. One of those, all of those, in a varying combination. Okay. The way the master deals with this moment is not to throw yourself into visible danger, throw yourself into visibility, right? Is to go underground. Okay, that's what we need to think about. There's something here where we're being asked in this month of June to protect our light. I often think of this hexagram as being protection of our energy, very much, okay, particularly if you're going through a difficult time or people are around us are having a difficult time. It's not always about our challenge. It's about people having stuff around us. And how do we do that? We just take the light underground, okay? We just put up a little bit of a mask, we put up a boundary, and we get through this, okay? Because the challenge is there, we've got to work through it, we can't avoid life. This is not about avoiding the challenge. This is how we protect our energy, our light, through the challenge. I often think of this hexagram as zipping the lip, okay? If you are working on a project, doing something, even if it's a personal thing that you're working on, a personal health issue, whatever it is that you are working through at this time in your life, it's like, be quiet about it. There's something about protecting our energy and not going, with all our stuff to everybody. There's something just about taking everything inwards, being calm and reflective, being quiet. Perhaps you're working on a project where it's not good to blab about it. It's just allow the space for the thing you're working on to mature and develop undercover. There's something here, undercover. We're not blabbing to the whole world about this thing. We are going undercover. Similar to what I've shared before with this hexagram, that Some writing community people feel that when you are writing, when you're developing a story, you keep it all in. You keep the story, the characters, the process, whatever you're writing, you keep it within and you finish the job. And then when you are ready to release that story, when your idea is complete and you've done the work of putting that together, then you share it. It's like you're concentrating and focusing and letting your own creative energy mature and do its thing without all the opinions of other people coming in to tell you what you should be doing, or, oh, I don't like the story, or what about this character, and oh, what is he, and oh. So you allow your creative process a little bit of an incubation. Think about this as a selective incubation process. We are still interacting in the world. We are still doing what we need to do. It's not retreat. But what we are doing is we're just keeping it under wraps. Okay, there's something important about this, that we develop the skill of being conscious of what we share about ourselves, our work. Perhaps there's some, legal issues that if you went and shared it with everyone, that'll put you in difficulty. Perhaps it undermines what you're trying to do. These are the things we need to think about. Protect your energy, but still love and care and engage with the world, all right? Protect your ideas, protect what you're going through, and just give yourself a little bit of private space. Not everything that you're going through has to be external, and there's a process here of incubating your creative journey, the thing that you are making, the thing that you are becoming. Okay, what is it that you need to incubate and give a little bit of privacy to? Put your light down under the ground, just protect it for a while. We don't need the wolves, okay? We don't need to have a big bonfire and tell all the wolves, come here, hunt down, there's food here. No, we put the fire under the ground and we keep it under wraps. That's what this month is asking us to pay attention to. So the returning back to the best part of ourselves and protecting our energy, protecting our creation, that is what this month is all about. Simple, simple, focus, focus, focus. Even if you write that up, protect your energy. All right. Bring the best part of yourself to this moment. Those are beautiful affirmations to work with this month. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you like this episode, find it valuable, hit the thumbs up, the like button. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the bell or the follow button on the podcast. And I look forward to seeing you very soon for our first weekly forecast for June. Until then, take care.